Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to New Right Network's original series, Smith TV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And right after the show is the Wayne Dupree Show. So you've got 2 hours of incredible news, great information, back to back, Monday through Friday. And today, Wednesday Wisdom. Trump having some rallies around America, getting ready to go to Florida. Some of the biggest get-togethers I think we have ever seen since maybe the Who concert or something. This is insane, folks. We'll showcase all of that, as well as Sleepy Joe. Poor Uncle Joe Biden, poor guy. He said if he gets elected, if he did, it's not impossible, but if he did, he'd be 78 years old in office, the oldest president ever to take office. I think he's acting like a 78-year-old man, a little bit slowing down, needs to ride off in the sunset, but we'll get into that. Folks, tariffs are working, updates on Spygate, breaking, James O'Keefe, a good friend of ours, man, undercover work, just doing some great stuff, James. Thank you so much. Revealing insider information about what is happening on Pinterest and what is happening to Christians on Pinterest. And then right after that, we'll get into Islam, some updates on Islam in the UK, Islam in America, Austria taking some bold steps against Islam. Very, very proud about that. Then we have our border battle still raging forward. So if this is the first time you've been on the show, welcome. Jump down into the description below. There's a link for the app called Telegram. Get on the link, click the link, download the app, and you can be connected to our show every single day early. You'll get the show notes extremely early, usually about 4 hours early. You also get the icon for the picture of the show, what the show's going to be about, what it's going to look like. So you'll have inside knowledge to that down there in that app called Telegram. If you want to listen to us audio only, we're on iHeartRadio. Just the link right there in the description below. And then right underneath Telegram, it says full show notes. If you're just coming on the show for the first time, jump down in there and then click that. That'll take you directly over to newrightnetwork.com, where there's an entire show notes, all 3 pages show notes, and then also the embedded video. So if you ever felt like sharing that with somebody, the video and the show notes combined together, it'd be perfect right there, just that link. And if you like what you hear and you like the show and you think that we're doing a fantastic job, I appreciate that. Hit the Patreon, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash Me. Something special that I've been doing here recently with the Patreon. Over at patreon.com, I can actually post the links, I can post show notes, I can post things, and I can actually post the video of the show early and make that available only to Patreon individuals. So if you want early access to the show, you want early access to the show notes, and even access to me 24/7 through text messaging, things like that, you can definitely jump over there to Patreon, become a Patreon, and you will be inside access to the show. And I thank you very much. That's just special for our Patreon folks, and I thank you again. So as we kick off the show, folks, we've got to expose this fake news like ain't never before. Flashback: Donald Trump is never going to be president of the United States of America. And this, our good friend at Buzzman888, polling 2016 prediction: Trump will never be president. 2020 prediction: current polls show multiple Democratic candidates beating Trump if the election were held today. Rinse and repeat.
All, let's say, cow poo-poo aside, there is zero chance we'll be seeing you being sworn in on the Capitol steps with your hand on a giant golden Bible.
I'll make a prediction, though, for you. I don't really get into predictions much, but this one I'll go way out on a limb. Donald Trump will never, ever be president of the United States. That Trump should not be in this race. He's an absurdity. He is a travesty.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Donald Trump is a
here today, gone tomorrow candidate for President of the United States. Donald Trump is not going to be President of the United States. Although respectful of the fact that the people have not voted, he's not going to be President of the United States.
Let's be clear. Donald Trump will lose the election.
I mean, he had a really good chance to be different and really have a chance to change things, but he doesn't do the work. He's lazy.
We talk about him every day, and we continuously bash him.
He's not going to be the president. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
It should be a wake-up call to the Republican Party. Despite Boris thinking that Donald Trump could win New York, like this, the presidential race is over.
Could I just cut through? I have one thing to say, one thing only, and that is that this race is over. Tomorrow morning, the money will dry up. The Republicans will start to hide. Trump has no place to go. This race, effectively, as of tonight, is no longer a presidential race. Everything I know about presidential politics, and I've been through 5 of them, I've never seen one like this. This race is over. You might as well accept it. And the question now is, how do you minimize damage? And the only way you can do that, it seems to me, is to try to grab hold of some old conservative value things and do what Mondale did in '84, which is try to save a few people down ballot. But as far as Donald Trump's concerned, it will never, ever, ever happen.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Guys, you got to laugh at this stuff. This goes back 2016, folks, 2015. We saw everybody. Fake news, gaslighting, everybody. We got to look back at what happened. We don't ever forget the past. That's why we have to do this here. This is good stuff. This should get you fired up and excited about 2020 Trump landslide. Folks, it's got to be a 2020 landslide in order to show them how serious we are about this president, the greatest president we have ever had. Going back to Bob Beckel. What a sorry sack of potatoes. That guy's got such a bad drug problem, they had to kick him off Fox News. Some of the other ones are just fake news people, just absolute fake news. They don't know what they're talking about. They had no idea what the American voter was feeling. All those disconnected elites in Capitol Hill out there in Hollywood, completely disconnected from you and from me, the just average John Q voter. That the voice of the voiceless, that was Donald Trump, the voice of the voiceless. We were the ones that were disenfranchised, and we showed them at the polls. Folks, we got to get out there and do this again. That's why I do this show, because, well, for multiple reasons. I find it's pretty good therapy, but not only that, but I feel like I'm on a mission, and my mission is to get the real news out there and to connect with each and every one of you every single night so that you know the run up to this election, you'll know the real news. You'll be connected with us. You'll be connected with the information. You don't need to listen to any of that garbage because all of it's fake. It's so hard now to find what's real and what's not real. I make a full-time, this is my living. My entire day is consumed, 8 to 10 hours every single day, consumed with digging into the real news and finding out what's real, what's fake. And again, I got to thank every single one of you patriots that are actually a part of this show. Down in the show notes, you'll see the links to every single person like Cody that puts up these real tweets and this real information in real time. I put this part of the show notes so you can click his name, take you right over to Twitter, and you can go ahead and follow these individuals. Great patriot individuals to follow if you want real news in real time and supporting and watching this show. Thank you very, very much. And this is also another reason, as part of my show prep, if you will, at @V_actually. She tweeted this out, and I caught her tweet. When you have tens of thousands of followers and tens and thousands of tweets populating through your timeline, it's almost impossible to find some of the great stuff. But she tweeted out to Cody in that video, and so I found hers, went down the rabbit hole, and found Cody. She retweeted and replied, "They start with their desired result, then work to find a polling group that will achieve the goal. These polls are outright lies meant to demoralize Trump's conservative base so they stay at home. Won't work. Communist, Satanist trash. Hashtag Trump 2020. Folks, that's the truth. They want to try and disenfranchise us. They want to separate us from Trump. They want to separate us from the real news. They want to paint the new narrative or the old narrative, rerun the old narrative that racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe, racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe. It just ain't happening. We're too well connected with social media like this, and this is the reason why I say crush the share, crush the follow. Welcome all newcomers to the real news outlet right here, SmythTV, and also being connected to our president, to Donald Trump, and his tweets on social media. Bring this to you guys every single night because you need to hear from the president on a daily basis, and this at Real Donald Trump. The fake corrupt news media said they had a leak into polling done by my campaign, which, by the way, and despite the phony and never-ending witch hunt, are the best numbers we've ever had. The reported fake numbers, they were made up and don't even exist. We will win again. 100%. Folks, this is what's going on all day on Twitter today. Trending is 41%. 41 is trending. Reason why? Somebody's claiming, some fake poll news outlet is claiming that if the election were held today, that Donald Trump would lose to the Democrats by only holding 41% of the vote. I'm like, what? What? This is insane. This is crazy, but we've got to expose it. We've got to laugh at it. The meme wars are starting up. Our good friends over at Carpe Dunkdom and over at Saul Memes 1. These memes, this is where it's at. These guys take this serious too. These memes are for real. They really hit back and they punch back at the fake news and they punch back at these lying candidates that are out there. They're flat out lying. The Democrats holding more hearings today, lying even more, just flat out lying, not even trying to hide. Folks, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. That's how bad it is. And this at LA Tiffany 1, President Trump never pandered to blacks, not once. He earned 39% of the black vote because he views us as hardworking Americans, while hot sauce Haitian heist Hillary plus other Democrat culture vultures, Biden, Warren, Harris, Buttigieg, O'Rourke, degrade blacks and other minorities. And I've got to get a shout out to this one. Beautiful black woman at LA Tiffany with an I. I apologize. I saw that I wasn't following you. I am following you. And just to give you folks a heads up, if I was following you and I'm not following you, this happens all the time. I don't do it. I don't do it at all. A good friend of ours that we've had on the show many times, a beautiful, intelligent woman, millennial, wrote a book, Make Love Great Again. She's a huge Trump supporter and an awesome, awesome patriot. We follow each other. We hang out. We were hanging out there in D.C. multiple times. Gave me a message the other day. Said, hey, I'm sorry I'm not following you, and I don't know why. I haven't gotten any of your messages. Are you guys still on the show? You this? Yeah, man, I'm still doing the show. We're just trucking along. I thought you knew, Deanna. So Twitter does that. And something else I've said on the show before, but I'll repeat again. If you look at somebody's profile and you see that you were following them and they were following you, and you see that they have 0 people they're following, but they've got all their followers, it's whether it's a glitch or not, I don't know, but it's something in the matrix with Twitter that locks the account out, shows 0 following, which automatically makes people feel, he's not following me, I'm not going to follow him either. And it makes people automatically unfollow. This is very frequent, happens often. So if you see that happening, if it's a MAGA person, they're not following you, don't unfollow them. Just stay there with them. It don't matter. Try and balance your numbers out. If you got 10,000 followers and you're following 10,000, stay within a few thousand, but if you're following people or you find somebody that you're not following, go ahead and follow them back. And so again, great shout out at LA Tiffany with an I1. Great patriot to follow. Donald Trump is going to garner the black vote with the likes the Democrats have never seen in their generation, except for maybe Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi, because, They've been around maybe a couple hundred years. But no, seriously, the Democrats have taken advantage of and have gotten used to and have ruined the black communities and have garnered their votes. FDR, LBJ, and then all of a sudden they're starting to wake up and starting to realize hashtag Blexit, hashtag Jexit. There's our good buddy Scott Pressler was doing some campaigning and whatnot, ran across a Jewish woman who voted Obama both times and said she's absolutely voting Trump and voting Trump again. Guys, I know it's anecdotal, but we never saw anybody speak out that was a minority that said, I'm absolutely voting Trump. People kept that to their heart and they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to be outspoken about it. People are more outspoken about voting Trump now, especially minorities, than I have ever seen. Guys, Donald Trump, and that's the other thing too. If the Democrats lose 15 to 20% of the black vote, which I believe they garner anywhere from 90 to 95% of the black vote. If that dips down to 80% and Donald Trump picks up 15, 20% and I'm talking small numbers, 15 to 20%, man, this gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Uniting us and not dividing us, bringing us back together as one country, Donald Trump, he gets those low numbers of 15 to 20%, and it's all over. Say goodnight to the Democrat Party. Sorry, at least for right now. But we got to stay on top of this because they cannot garner all three branches of the government ever again. What they did with Barack Obama, taking this country and wrecking it like they did, we can't let that happen. And we gotta keep reminding ourselves of how bad it was, the bad ideas, the bad policies, disenfranchising, setting back race relations 50 to 70 years easily. It's just so frustrating. But we're getting to the rallies, guys. Donald Trump's making his way around the country in Iowa and Florida. Let's check this out real quick. All right, check this out. Donald Trump, at Real Donald Trump, tweeting out, on my way to Iowa, just heard nearly 1,000 agricultural groups signed a letter urging Congress to approve the USMCA. Our patriot farmers and rural America have spoken. Now, Congress must do its job and support these great men and women by passing the bipartisan USMCA trade agreement. And the Democrats, everybody's seeing it. Democrats are doing nothing, absolutely 100% nothing but resist. Even moderates down the middle, even moderate Democrats want people to reach across the aisle and work together. Isn't that what they always said? Reach across the aisle. Come on, man. You ain't reaching across the aisle. Here's the aisle. Here's the reaching. You guys are not reaching. You're not coming to the table. Donald Trump has got it right here for you. And we see Democrats do what? Nothing. Wow. And I just come across this, guys. I follow Deep State Exposed at Deep State Exposed. And so I follow Deep State Exposed, and this is kind of how things happen sometimes. Donald Trump tweets out, Deep State Exposed retweeted to Trump. And so when I go to Trump's tweet, I see the video. We're going to talk about Islam in a minute, but this is John Brennan. I've never seen this before.
But for more than 3 decades, I have also had the tremendous fortune to travel the world. And as part of that experience, to learn about the goodness and beauty of Islam.
What? John Brennan? What? That explains an awful lot, guys. That explains an awful lot. These are these deep staters that are fighting Donald Trump. Why? Because they know that Islam is just another branch of communism, another branch of socialism. They know that Islam will keep the citizenry enslaved and keep them down. Not only that, but they can use Islam against us to divide us, running Islamic, Muslim believers and putting them in Congress, and knowing that they are absolutely 100% against our Constitution, and they are too. And so they know it's going to divide the nation. They divided it once under Abraham Lincoln. They're attempting to divide it again in that same manner. We've got to keep speaking out and fighting out about this. But thank you, Donald Trump, for tweeting out. And thank you, Deep State Exposed, for replying to Donald Trump and giving us a heads up on John Brennan. It makes a lot of sense now. And we got Donald Trump tweeting out again. He was really busy going on a Twitter rant, but I love it. Love all his tweets at Real Donald Trump. Wow. just got word that our June 18th Tuesday announcement in Orlando, Florida, already has 74,000 requests for a 20-seat arena. With all of the big events that we have done, this ticket looks to be the hottest of them all. See you in Florida. Guys, I'm telling you, people are excited. If you've never been to one of these rallies, you absolutely have to. At least one time have to go to a rally. I suggest you get there early. You don't have to sleep out over there overnight to get in line, but it is usually the events are first come, first serve, in nice form, fashion line. And if you do get there early, you can pick your own seat. But 74,000 requests. And here's what happens too. I'm going to give you a heads up. This is insider information. Once the rally or everybody lines up and they start admitting people, allowing people to come in after Secret Service has done their sweeps throughout the whole event, people start to file in slowly, one at a time. And that might start around 3:00 in the afternoon. And Donald Trump doesn't show up until probably maybe 7. So they're going to start filing people in for about 4 hours. Once that's done, not even once it's done, people are going to show up without tickets. But you can get in. You don't have to have a ticket. I would suggest you get one, but people are showing up without tickets and they're letting them in. Folks, so you got to get there early, and there's going to be a lot of people there. People standing outside, people standing all over the place. I've been to a whole bunch of these as a volunteer to help out with the Trump campaign, and it is a blast. I suggest if you want to have fun and you want to help out and help continue to make America great, help to keep it great again, call your local Republican office, get involved. You'll be surprised by how many people really support Trump now that are in office because they're starting to see that Trump can what? Raise the money. Same reason why they loved Hillary Clinton, because she could raise the money. Donald Trump raising the money because of his policies and because of how he's actually making money for people. His policies are creating more wealth in America. Hillary Clinton had to steal her money. Or rob and steal it from other governments or through even our own government where she lost hundreds of millions of dollars as being Secretary of State. Yeah, I wonder where all that went. Anyway, so back to Trump. Trump doing a fantastic job in America, just absolutely loving the energy that he has, connecting with people, connecting with Americans. Let's check out one of the Trump rallies. Somebody put up a video here on YouTube's about the Trump rallies and what is going on in the rally. Check this out real quick. Okay, sorry about how fast it's moving, but check it out. Somebody's walking with a camera, and they're walking people at the rally, and there's people at the rally here. I'll speed it up. Long lines down the sidewalks, all the way down. I mean, this goes on for 5 minutes. People partying in the cars and hanging out, just having a good time. Some people tailgating, barbecuing. Hundreds, still people. Look at the lines. The lines are there's thousands and thousands of people in line, waiting, walking, slowly walking. And as the camera keeps going down the roads, there's double, there's 2 lines. That makes me frustrated right there. Tons and tons of people still walking. And this all in fast motion. All these thousands of people waiting and walking in line to get to a Trump rally. I've been there. I'm telling you, folks, I've been there. This is how it happens. And it's so much fun because everybody's joking and having fun and hanging out with each other. It's a safe territory. You could talk about politics all day. You could talk to each other about how much you love Donald Trump and his policies and what he's doing. And you could argue about who's the bigger fan of the president, you or somebody else, and just have an absolute great time. It's like a big old giant family reunion where we all agree on the same thing. Not one of those family reunions that, you can't talk politics. This is one of those happy family reunions, and it's just awesome. Okay, so let's juxtapose. We got that. Let's go to, now remember, fake news media said that Donald Trump would lose right now if the election was held right now against almost every single Democrat. He would lose.
And I think that, look, I believe that the president is literally an existential threat to America for 3 reasons. worked so hard in my career to make sure that I promise you, if I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes in America is we're going to cure cancer. You think but that's another issue.
This, my friends, is at David Weigel. I don't follow this individual. And this is Joe Biden in Pleasant, Iowa, making fun of Trump's mysterious Mexico trade deal.
Document Mexico. And I'm sure that there are a heck of a lot of Iowans being crushed by his tariffs that would like to see that secret document. I'm anxious to see it. I think I'm either low IQ or slow, or I don't know what I am. Slow Joe Biden.
You can see, I know the audio's bad. It's kind of tough. Joe is talking very slow. There's only a handful of people. Guys, there's only a couple of rows of chairs there. He's talking real slow. He's talking about the trade agreement with Mexico, and it's just fake news, and he's pandering to his people. This is sad. This is really sad. And also a video about saying, he's talking about it. If you elect me president, I'll cure cancer. You'll do what? Come on, Joe. This ain't gonna work, man. And check this out. This by Right Side Broadcasting Network. Seen on the ground at the Joe Biden rally in Davenport, Iowa, about an hour before it begins. Looks quite a bit different than real Donald Trump's rally an hour before it begins.
Okay, so this is where Joe Biden is going to be tonight, as you can see at the sign. He will be here in about an hour. And so far there's no line. People are walking in the door freely. A couple of TV cameras here. People signing up voters. And this is a look at the parking lot, so you can see. Not a lot of people waiting for Mr. Biden, or that came to see him. Right back to the beginning, where we were. So there's not a lot of folks that came out today.
This is worse than Hillary Clinton. This is worse than any of them. Guys, the fake news and the fake polls, we got Right Side Broadcasting Network on the ground an hour. Now, granted, I understand. This is not fake news here, folks. If she is correct by saying, and it had Joe Biden's name up there, her saying, one, it's an hour before, let's say it's even 3 hours before. She said an hour. Let's say 3 hours. There were camera crew there set up and ready, but 4 hours a day before Donald Trump's rally to begin, people are camping out overnight. If you got there 4 hours early before Donald Trump was supposed to speak, you might not get a seat. I'm serious. The place is packed hours and hours and hours prior to Donald Trump arriving. If this is really an hour before Biden is to speak, this is unbelievable how much the fake mainstream media is lying. And they're lying worse now than they were with Hillary Clinton. And this, our good friend at Sean Lynn 5, tweeting out to Joe Biden. This was Joe Biden's tweet. President Trump thinks his tariffs are being paid by China, just like he thinks Mexico is building the wall. And Sean replied back to him, it must suck so bad for you to be a Democrat racist punk, a second fiddle to Obama, a forgettable vice president during the worst administration in decades, and to know that you will never be as famous or as rich or anywhere near as powerful as Donald Trump. Hashtag grope and change. And this one tweeted out at Trumper, SEANEY. Hashtag sleepy, creepy Uncle Joe, Joe Biden. You and the Democrats are where the sewer lines meet together.
And I think that, look, I believe that the president is literally an existential threat to
America for three reasons.
President Trump's accomplishments so far in the first 500 days. The economy, we just got these new numbers. It's at 3.8% unemployment. It is, an 18-year low. Historic tax cuts, ramped up fight against ISIS, a release of prisoners, and the summit with Kim Jong-un is coming up, and then moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, a promise that he made during the campaign. He kept that, and then also the appointment of Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch.
Welcome back. The second wave of U.S. shale revolution is on the way. The U.S. set to become a net petroleum exporter within 2 years.
The U.S. economy adding 263,000 jobs in April. The unemployment rate sinking to a 49-year low.
Wow. Lowest since 1969. Christine Romans with us more. Yeah. Strong numbers. Yep. Strong top line number.
Democrats are now the party of high taxes, high crime, open borders, late-term abortion, killing your Second Amendment, and radical socialism.
Who is the real threat? ? Democrats or Islam? Facts don't lie, guys. You get it right here every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, right after the show, Wayne Dupree's show. He gives you the real news as well. Again, SmythTV, Smith.tv. Jump over there, become a Patreon. And as we showcase, this is what's going on. Also, Brett Kavanaugh. So this was kind of some older clips. Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court, looking like Donald Trump may be able to put at least one more, if not two more, in the Supreme Court, which would be incredible. Donald Trump now also judges nationwide. Hundreds and hundreds of judges Donald Trump is placing in there. And the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, I think the numbers were somewhere around 9 vacancies in the Ninth Circuit. I'm fuzzy on the numbers on which one it is, or the fact that Donald Trump has now placed 6 or 7 judges on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal to change that circuit so that it's not the ones the Democrats run to every time they want bought and paid for judges. This is changing America for lifetimes, for our children's children, folks. We gotta stay with this though and continue to keep America great. Real news right here every single night. Share this with your friends and your family. And I gotta thank Mark Dice for this one. I was watching one of his videos. You check out the description below. Give Mark Dice a huge shout out. Johnny Carson, going all the way back to 1987 with Joe Biden. Joe, this ain't no good.
Now, on the political scene, one of the Democratic candidates is Senator Joseph Biden. Have you seen the problem he's been having? He went around and made a speech. And apparently, he quoted I think it was a British politician, took his speech and kind of paraphrased it as his own. And then the press got on him, and Biden says, not to worry, he reassured his staff. He said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
That was from 1987. We know that there's evidence out there that Joe Biden's a plagiarist. He's done it multiple times, and now we've got this is when comedy was funny, guys. If Johnny Carson were around today, crack some jokes about Donald Trump, we'd laugh about it. No big deal. Jay Leno not on the air anymore. My personal belief is because he wouldn't attack Barack Obama. It's because he'd give it to both sides equally, and you didn't know what his politics were. That's funny stuff. Johnny Carson, what a flashback. Thank you. And what else did Joe Biden give us? What was that? Reminiscent of Obamacare? Yeah, that's your party. That's Joe Biden. That's what they want to do. And this by Breitbart News. American Medical Association rebukes Medicare for All. The American Association rejected a resolution Tuesday that would have ended their opposition to Medicare for All and backed a single-payer health care proposal. The AMA, which backed the Affordable Care Act when Democrats originally drafted a law, defeated a proposal to back Medicare for All with 53% against the proposal and 47% in favor of the measure. Well, I'm glad that they rejected the resolution to end their opposition for Medicare for All, but Medicare for All and backing a single-payer healthcare proposal, they're both the same. These medical people, they don't know what they're doing. It's crazy. Ben Carson talked about this. Ben Carson is excellent. I mean, he's a doctor himself. operating on babies in the womb. You want to talk about a phenomenal surgeon, talking about how this will absolutely destroy our country. And now we're seeing the evidence. We're seeing what's going on in California. And now California proposing to give free 100% health care, medical care, attention, assistance, everything to illegals. Just watch it. That's how it goes. And I told you about Donald Trump's tariffs and Joe Biden speaking out against the tariffs. He didn't know what he's talking about. The administration that he was a part of, Barack Obama, the worst in history. And now we have this at the gatewaypundit.com. Winning, Foxconn plans to increase U.S. manufacturing thanks to Trump's tariffs. Another big win for the U.S. thanks to President Donald Trump, and the tariffs are working. Lou was speaking at Foxconn's first investor conference in Taipei, where the company also said it was well positioned to tackle the increasingly tough trade war situation with its production lines across 16 other countries. The trade war would, quote, will have some impact, but it will be limited, Lou said. And this at Bright Start. Also, Foxconn moves more manufacturing to the U.S. Good luck to the Democrats in 2020. Wisconsin will probably legally change the name to Wis-Trumpson. Yes, so apparently they already have plants here in America, and they're starting to shift and come to the U.S. and put more of their time and energy and money and manufacturing in the United States. Guys, this is what tariff wars are all about. Yeah, it hurts in the short term, but in the long term, it has to happen. So truly excited about what's going on with Donald Trump, the tariffs, this tariff war. Have at it. Keep going. We've got to straighten this out now, because if you don't, we're going to continue to be taken advantage of by these other countries. So updates on Spygate, just a couple little things that we just want to go over real fast. And this at Zionist Girl 18, hashtag Trump on the DNC server. When the FBI went into the DNC and the DNC told them to get the hell out of there.
DNC. And frankly, when the FBI went into the DNC told them to get the hell out of here. Think of that. They told that to the FBI, and they wouldn't give them the server. I want to find out what's on that server, the DNC server, because that's the big thing. Nobody's seen that server yet. The FBI didn't see it. And these are the top people at the FBI, where you had absolute dirty cops. These were dirty cops. Now, the FBI, I know FBI guys, these are the best in the world. But the people leading it, Comey and McCabe and Strzok and Page and all of these people, the lawyer who admitted, frankly, how crooked things were. I mean, when that testimony comes out, it's already come out partially. When that testimony comes out from the attorney for the FBI, you'll see. So I really say now we have to get down, because this was a coup. This was an attempted overthrow of the United States government. We had people coming out to vote from all over this country that are in love with what we're doing. It's called Make America Great Again. That's what we've done and we're doing. And this was an overthrow, and it's a disgraceful thing. And I think it's far bigger than Watergate. I think it's possibly the biggest scandal in political history in this country, maybe beyond political. So I think that a lot of things are being learned right now, just like you just mentioned just a few moments ago, again with Strzok and Page. These are sick people. These are sick people. You know. So let's see what happens with McCabe and Comey and Brennan and Clapper. They weren't in the act. And let's see what happens, and let's see how high it goes up, because it's...
And real quick, I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. The two lawyers for Hillary Clinton, their laptops were being requested. No dawn raid on their house. James Comey was asking for the laptops of Hillary Clinton's two lawyers. Two lawyers said, no, we're not going to give it up. We're not going to give it up. Finally, Comey said he struck a plea deal with the lawyers for total immunity for the laptops. After a month, they handed over the laptops, complete bleach bit job, nothing to see, nothing on them. Not only that, but when Hillary Clinton gave her testimony, she had those two lawyers with her while giving testimony, not under oath. And not only that, but those lawyers had previously testified, and they were sitting with her. This is so wrong. All the same people that were involved in Hillary Clinton's email scandal are all the same people that were involved in the Russia to try to take Trump down. So these all of them need to go to jail. And this at Rhonda Hurley too, vote Republican, do nothing Congress, vote crooked Dems out. Speaking of cover-ups, at Representative Cummings, did you help your wife with ethics challenges of her charity dealings? And did you help her gain illegal private benefits from your committee? And this at the Daily Caller. News Foundation defeated FBI's bid to shield documents surrounding the Comey ally. Folks, this is really big. Big news. The FBI must begin producing documents regarding Daniel Richman, the Columbia Law professor, former FBI director James Comey, used as a go-between with the press and a federal judge decided. Richman is a close friend of former director who performed work for the Bureau as a special government employee. The Daily Caller, News Foundation, and Cause of Action Institute are seeking records of communications from Richmond produced for the FBI. Better understand special projects he performed at Comey's direction. This is big. Why is this big? Because this guy that was working with Richmond, that was working with Comey, even told us. He said he was working for him. He wasn't even getting paid. He got a free badge to walk around the FBI halls. As Comey's buddy, Comey gave the notes that he took on Donald Trump's meeting, gave them to him. He leaked them to the media. This is criminal action. I think we absolutely need to see Richmond's documents. And I thank you so much, Daily Caller, for being out there and doing what you do. And as we here try to do everything that we can possibly do to get the real news out, to expose the fake news, social media is what it is, and we got to fight the good fight, guys. We are fighting it alongside you, being shadow banned, being silenced. It is happening. I know. James O'Keefe, it's probably silenced more than a lot of people. This is undercover work that is just extraordinary, and we thank you for doing everything you do, James. So this is breaking right here at James O'Keefe 111. Veritas obtained a massive sensitive terms list from a Pinterest insider, which revealed they manipulate search results for Bible verses, Christian Easter, and other Christian terms marked as brand unsafe, such terms removed from autocomplete, trending, and recommended, etc. For those of you who aren't on Pinterest or maybe don't know what Pinterest is a place where you can pin things, pictures of words and terms, things like that. Pinterest has done very, very good job at keeping pornography, nudity, all that stuff. It's almost virtually not on there. I don't think I've ever seen anything of that nature on Pinterest. And so what they've been doing, and what this insider said, is that they've been tagging Christian things with the terms pornography, because that will get it banned on Pinterest. This is what we're fighting. And I don't know, something's got to happen soon, because this is going to destroy the 2020 election if it's not. And here at Dusty Doll, this certainly is not a wimpy knock it off, referring to Barack Obama. President Trump has clearly placed a big tech on notice with a stern warning.
And we're sending a very clear message to big tech. Do not censor the American people, because they are censoring certain groups of people. That's not right. It's not right.
I'm not sure what he's got in the plan or what he's got in the works, but he definitely is starting to see that his friends and people that follow him and his sons know it. His sons are friends with our friends. Our friends are being shadow banned and being blocked. You guys on the show, you understand this, and you know how frustrating it is. There are multiple platforms out there. Cloud Hub is one. You've got the new one, Parler is out now, and there's a whole bunch of other ones out there. The number one problem is, President Donald Trump isn't there. The other problem is, almost every single politician that's out there is on Twitter. That's the other problem. Folks, what's going to happen is Donald Trump is going to have to make the switch, and he's going to have to tell all Republicans, make the switch. And then you're going to see Democrats starting to come over slowly but surely to try and, win back attention or garner some kind of something from just the John Q. public that's over there. But I don't know how this is going to play out. I really don't. I just like to see it happen, though. And today is the third year anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting. I'll remind you about that, guys, down there in Florida. It was a very extremely troubled Muslim, raised devout Islam, studied the Quran. He was devious in his sexual desires and had partaken of gay whatever. So him, and knowing how horrible his dad would have thought of him and all these problems he was having mentally, he was definitely a deranged individual filled with hate taught by the Quran, that went down to a gay nightclub and shot the place up. And again, this our good friend at Scott Pressler. 3 years ago today, my life changed forever. A radical, which I don't think he's radical. I think it was just, he was a Muslim. But a radical Islamic terrorist murdered 49 people at the Pulse nightclub. In response, I came out as gay. The Trump community embraced me. We have to make sure the people coming into our country don't want to murder us. #Pulse. And this just kind of goes hand in hand. This was an article written by USAPolitico.com, tweeted out at SuperPatriot1. Breaking news, Iran's FM affirms right to execute gays and blast the U.S. UN is silent on every crime of Islamic countries. Cozy, it would damage Islam. America need to stop aid to the UN, and then let's see how the UN can run without our taxpayers. 100%. We've got to keep talking about this. Every single show that I do, I will bring you breaking news of Islamic terror, which is just Islam. The Quran promotes it. I'm also looking for the Christian terrorist. I'm looking. If you guys find the Christian terrorist, please send it to me so that I can put it in the show notes and display it for everybody. No, I know it doesn't happen. Folks, as good Christians, we've got to reach out to these people that are enslaved and teach them about the freedom and the love of Jesus Christ. It's an absolute must. It must happen. That is the only way that we're going to beat back Islam in America, is to teach these folks that are enslaved about the beauty and the love and the peace and the freedom that comes from Christ Jesus only. And here we have at Trump 45. I didn't recognize her. She changed her profile pics. Awesome. Great pick. And she tweeted out, Austria gets it. They impose a law that bans full-face burqas, will not even allow women to enter their country who refuse to comply. Their conservative government is determined to fight against Islamization and are closing mosques that are politically motivated. Bravo, Austria. And this is her second tweet. Watch, in London, this Muslim berates a cop for wearing a wristband that supports their military, so he removes it. How can citizens feel safe when cops are afraid to wear a damn wristband? Are you kidding me right now? Sadiq Khan has successfully emasculated his police force. Saw the video. Absolutely. The guy just berates. They're bullies. Folks, these people bully each other into staying in Islam. They bully each other to force them to do what they want them to do. It's the exact same tactics that the Democrat Party uses on other people, and we've got to expose this and stop this. And I know this is in Great Britain, but I have to show you guys this. This is happening all over the place, but again, at Prison Planet, left-wing comedian Joe Brand fantasizes about acid attacks on right-wing politicians. They're very, very easy to hate, and I'm kind of thinking, why bother with the milkshake when you could just get some battery acid? I can feel the progressivism and the tolerance from here. Yeah, folks, this is getting really bad, and it's only going to get worse if this kind of stuff is not tolerated. And at Mel_Faith1, didn't know where to put this one, but this is insanity. This is the left that we're seeing, and the pure insaneness that it just exudes everything of liberalism. Extreme leftists are being permanently branded to protect cruelty to animals. #liberalism is a mental disorder. Folks, this is what they've done. They've gaslighted people into believing that the cruelty to animals is worth branding yourself for life. I promise you these people don't know anything about Jesus Christ. I promise you they don't, because they've subscribed to this religion of save the animals. Now, I know there are a lot of cat lovers and dog lovers. I understand it. I love them too. However, as a Christian in the Bible, God put us here as master over this domain of animals in the world. No, animals are not above human beings, and for human beings to be acting like this and branding themselves, it's just absolute insanity. This is the left. Also, real quick, some fake news. Want to put this out there at Black Widow 1928. This bonehead journalist, Wahata Ali, reported that Dan Crenshaw from Texas not supporting 9/11 victims' compensation fund. So she was replying to Dan. Check this out. Dan Crenshaw. Hey, journalist, maybe you should check your facts. I am the co-sponsor. Nice try, though. Also, patriotism. And this is a CAT scan that he sent the guys to let him know, yeah, I really do have I'm missing an eye. Dan Crenshaw saved the tweet, screenshotted the tweet, and then posted it back up. So, fake news. And he was retweeting to ABC News Politics, where Jon Stewart gave a rant and was complaining that there was nobody in Congress to talk to about the 9/11 first responders. Yeah, how do you like that, man? I'm telling you, John, I know you're a lefty, you're a left-wing nut, but there is a do-nothing Congress, folks. It's a do-nothing Congress, and we've got to vote them out. And as we're talking about do-nothing Congresses and do-nothing Democrats, let's run through the border updates real quick. This at Renee Carroll, Arizona. POTUS loves angel families while Democrats ignore them.
And an even greater man. This man gave us a voice, angel families a voice. No other president would hear our stories. I was fortunate, if you want to say fortunate, enough to have him in the running to become our president. A lot of other angel families did not have that voice until he came along. We've always had that voice for Sarah. She was killed January 31st, 2016, within a day of graduating with a bachelor's, as the president has said, 4.0 in criminal investigations. Her killer was 16 years old when he came across the border unaccompanied illegally. He killed my daughter at age 19. He had a blood alcohol of 0.241. Street racing, hit the back of my daughter's SUV that was stopped at a stoplight going 70 plus miles an hour. My daughter didn't have a chance. I do not, and the reason I speak out, I don't get Sarah back at the end of the day. I speak out because I don't want this happening to any of you. Our wonderful president stands by us and does everything in his power to help us because he doesn't want to see another family have to go through what we.
Democrats can't talk about it. They got this. This is why Donald Trump is so loved by the American people, because he is the voice of the people fighting for you and for I. Folks, every single day we do this show, Monday through Friday, New Right Network's original series, Smith TV, bringing you real news in real time. Thank you, Donald Trump, for being that hero, that American hero for us. And this at Breitbart News, Democrats block emergency funding for border crisis. Democrat Senator Pat Leahy bluntly told GOP senators that Democrats are blocking $4.5 billion needed to manage the Central American migration emergency until Republicans submit to their pro-migration demands. This at Super Elite Texan. So they're not at all good people just wanting a better life by coming into our country illegally. Imagine my shock learning this. Islamic terrorist has entered the United States through Mexican border. 4 ISIS fighters arrested within 36 hours in Texas. This our good friend at McGuire Scotty. Kentucky, imam at Islamic Center of Lexington, charged in murder for hire plot. The same imam touted by terror-linked care in recent years pleaded guilty in 2012 in connection with a $238,000 in illegal currency transactions at the Lexington banks. We've got it right here, folks. Here is the real news and the real information. You're never going to hear this anywhere. That's why you got to hit the like, hit the crush to share, tell your friends, your family about Smith TV. Again, right here, Anytown, USA, right here in Kentucky. This is what we're fighting. This is what we got to continue to expose. CNN would never talk about anything like this, ever. And what happened on the border yesterday at Border Narcotics, south of Douglas, Arizona this afternoon, in Agua Prieta, Sonora, cartels went at it in a turf war. As you see right here, the truck is shot up with bullet-ridden. Oh, my goodness, completely shot up. And I won't show you the inside because there's bodies in there. But, drug cartels right there in Arizona going at it in a turf war. This at Winston Covfefe, WTF. Officials at the International Boundary and Water Commission have ordered a private-funded section of the wall on the U.S.-Mexican border to keep its gates open indefinitely, saying organizers failed to obtain required permits. That's complete insanity. You know this, and I know this. Folks, we've got a lot of deep state people in our government that need to be dealt with. I would absolutely defy the order. If it was my wall, I would absolutely defy the order. But they went down there on the border and they saw that it was chained open and forced not to close it because they didn't require permits to close it. Insanity. We're fighting the good fight, folks, against everybody. And this by Frank Luntz. Frank Luntz is another never Trumper and said guaranteed Hillary Clinton would win. Mark my words on election day. Yeah, Frank kind of went downhill from there, haven't you? Well, he tweeted this out to Jared Keller, who said, Trump administration to hold migrant children at base that served as World War II Japanese internment camps. Well, Frank replied to him and said, from your article, using military bases in this way is not new. 2014, the Obama administration placed around 7,700 migrant children on bases in Texas, California, and Oklahoma, including Fort Still. So I don't even need to get into it, but okay, so Frank Luntz references his own article and says, yo, bro, come on, man. You're fake news, and that is fake news. It's just so awful to see how this has transpired with the fake news. World War II internment camps. This the article from Time.com. And we all know how Time magazine is absolutely railed against Trump, just despicable, disgusting artwork. Very gross, violent artwork towards Donald Trump. This is just one more step in the direction of fake news. And this at Ed is back, KAG 2020. I hate to admit it, but I'm stumped on this one, at Real Donald Trump. He also tagged the DNC, Tom Perez, Schumer, Pelosi, Ilhan, and Rashida Tlaib to the meme. I can't decide who runs the Democrat Party. Is it the Mexican drug cartels or the Muslims? Both. I would say both. I don't know what else to say. I don't think you can nail one down. The Mexican drug cartel obviously running loose. Gates being forced to be stayed open. Now you got Muslims in Congress. Yeah, no, they Democrat Party kowtowing to the Muslims, kowtowing to immigration. They want open borders, they want everything. Not a single good idea. Not a single good idea coming out of the Democrat Party from any one of them. They're even holding more hearings today on what the Russiagate Mueller report means. What? Guys, we got to stick together. You and I, we are the future of America. We are the future. This party that Donald Trump has hijacked, the GOP, is the future of America, and we are moving forward. Again, New Right Network, the original series Smith TV, your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news, Monday to Friday, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern. And right after this ends, folks, it's the Wayne Dupree Show, back-to-back 2 hours of great news and information. You're not going to see, you're not going to get anywhere. The great stuff that they're trying to hide from you folks. So, Woo! So for Wednesday Wisdom, see you later, guys. See you tomorrow for Thursday Thoughts.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.